Trent, a pretty special afternoon for the club and pretty good result to go with it. How'd you see the game?
Yeah, very special day for the club. Obviously, there's a lot of reasons today. Old boys 74 team, a debut and a 307th game, and then we had to handle that in the right way. We ended up giving over a lot of possession. We didn't have field position or possession in that first half. We had to do a lot of defence. I felt like we defended really well. Our goal line. Took a couple of opportunities, obviously, to score some tries, and then it got back tight, 14-12. It was sort of game on there, and then I really liked how these guys controlled it from there on in, opened up the middle of the field, took some opportunities, and then, finished it off.
We know what this team can do with the football, but how pleasing, like you say, is it to have that defensive side as well and to highlight the Dragons with those mountains of possession they were enjoying?
Yeah, if you want to do anything in this competition, you've got to defend well. And you have to defend well when you don't have possession. It's okay when you got 50-50, but if you're not ready for 45-55, then you won't go far by the end of the year. So you don't always want to practice it, but when you do, you want to get it right. And for the most part, there was one sort of really bad one that we let in there, but we had to sustain it, and that's a step forward on defence over the last couple of years for us.
You spoke about Jared a lot in the lead-up, but his actual game today, what did you make of him? It
was Jared. It was exactly how one of Jared's games should go. It was on the line. He obviously went over it there at one point. Unsure about that, but he was going to stay true right to the end. I just said to the team in there, I think Jared teaches a lot of us lessons about what is your true nature and your true character, and are you going to honour that right through in what you do? And he teaches us all a bit of a lesson there, and it was wonderful to see him play the game in that way.
We saw him walk out with his kids and his wife, and then 30 seconds off the kick-off, running in and belting Francis Moll. Does that just sum him up?
That's exactly Jared. A lot of people in life have to get themselves going and motivated, and that's normal. That's not critiquing anybody, but Jared knows himself really well, and that switch is right there, and he knows how to be the family man, and he knows that switch straight away. Now I'm into that mode. It's a really nice trait of his.
And obviously he is moving on at the end of the year, but the guys who will be stepping into his place, I guess Spencer and Terrell especially, how have you seen those today, but also their development over the season in that role?
Yeah, they're, Spencer, he's got a unique gift, and he's been able to show that, obviously at Penrith where he was, and which is why we're interested in him. And then I feel like he's been able to express himself as soon as he started playing here as well, and he's playing a bit more time as well, and and I really like that. And then Terrell May, he's this 4-week block, he's always playing well this year, but this 4-week block during Origin, he stood up and he plays so many different styles within the one game, and he gets them right most of the time. So there's obviously those two with Lindsay and Fahu White. I feel like Jared's passed on some things to them, but they're also their own style as well.
Just on Lindsay Collins, Trent, that try felt like really important in terms of stemming the momentum that the Dragons were building, and that ball to Teddy as well. What did you make of his game personally?
Yeah, that was an important inside ball, and Lindsay, and then that effort to get over, that was I think that was the 14-12 try. I can't remember whether it was 20-12 or 26-12, but that scrap on the right, we sort of knew that they were going to run on last in the second half. We spoke about it at half time. I thought the boys defended that really well. Lindsay turns up where he needs to, and then Teddy, just beautiful sort of support. Teddy, Lindsay, great eyes, and then that, I feel like that was almost the end of the game when it come to the competition of who was going to win that game. I feel like we broke their back on that one.
Teddy, Trent's always really strong about celebrating these milestone games in the right way and not sort of getting too carried away and doing justice to the Milestone player. As a playing group, how do you go about striking that balance?
Yeah, Robbo does a really good job of that. Obviously, we celebrated Jared really early in the week, so we could just focus on the footy the back end of the week, and it was really special what we did throughout the week. Really, we had past players, staff, us players get together and just speak about Jared's influence on us, and he means so much to this club and this team, and it was important for us to really honour that in a special way, and we did that with how we played. And as Robbo said, it was a standard Jared game. He went after it from the start, and sometimes he tips over that line a bit, but we wouldn't have it any other way. That's how Jared plays, and he's brought up our middles and our forwards. Like Robbo said, those young guys that he's bringing through, it's going to be really important for the future of this club, the way he's really mentored those young forwards and the way they're playing at the moment. It's really important for us as a team.
Is that the next chapter of his legacy, Trent, to see, like, after he leaves, the influence that he's had on the club sort of staying on in those guys?
Yeah, he's already had it. You think about Lindsay. Lindsay was a really good player coming out of Brisbane. In 2017, I think he came down here, but there's a front rowers code, that only front rowers can pass on, and in how you play, and it gets passed on from player to player. So he's been doing that for a long time, and it's just I loved watching him and Molo go at it today. I feel like that. It's people want to see that in our game. I thought it was a real beautiful part of the game. The tries are really nice, but the physical battle between those two was great.
How's Victor?
He's good. He's good. He obviously got concussion there so he doesn't remember that moment. He remembers the game, but yeah.
Might he need maybe more than 1 week, given he has had a few of those in the past?
It's not Dr. Trent for a reason, so let's leave that up to someone else. Thanks.